I'm Gerald Fauntroy, and welcome to The N-Word. This week has been a garbage fire, and together, we're inhaling the fumes. Gas prices skyrocketed due to panic buying after a recent cyber attack of the Colonial Pipeline. The panic has driven many to stockpile gas and whatever they could get their panicking little hands on, such as construction barrels, laundry baskets, yes, the ones with the holes in them, and shopping bags. This just in. A Hummer in Citrus County, Florida burst into flames shortly after the driver reportedly filled up 4 5-gallon containers of gas. If it does teach them the errors of smoking cigarettes, then I don't know what will. And there's a joke in there somewhere about Hummers and the lack of fuel efficiency. Good job, Florida. Now, while I love nothing more than to call them a bunch of dumbasses, but I'd like to put this in context for some of you all. The attack caused Colonial to shut down temporarily. That's not a gas shortage. But if every dumbass with a car is running to go get gas and overpump on gas, it will create a gas shortage. You're causing the problem at this point. Why don't we read? If you need a simpler explanation, it's like drinking all of your water at once just because you're told that you're not going to have water for a short period of time. So please, America, I know it's not in your nature, but please stop with the gas shit. Leave it for people who need it. Dodge Charger niggas, cause they're hurting right now. Looking your way, Terrence. Next. Alright, I can't emphasize enough how dumb this next bit of news is. Sorry for the residents of the state, but South Carolina, you're trash for this. Take a look.
Meanwhile, a bill to add a firing squad as a method of lethal execution is close to becoming law in South Carolina. That bill is on its way to the governor's desk. The House passed it on Wednesday, and there's been a nationwide shortage of lethal injection drugs.
What are they doing with these drugs for them to run out? Are they spraying their household plants with them? Because I'm sure there are cheaper ways to repel bugs. Y'all don't know how to ration out your lethal injections, apparently. A better option. These assholes are so dedicated to killing people, they're taking it back to, what's that? Well, I wanted to say an old date like 1838 or 1924, but 2010? That recent? I know it's over a decade ago, but come on, something such as that happened in 2010. While you would like to say, but Gerald, other countries does worse. Yes, you're right. But for us to consider ourselves a first world country, we sure do not mind doing third world shit. Actually, South Carolina is only one of 5 states to reinstate the death via firing squad, joining Utah, Oklahoma, Mississippi, home of Jimmy Buffett and where root beer was invented. Which I like to respond, ew, who still drinks that stuff? So at least you're not the only ones being shit. Isn't there supposed to be a ammo shortage or something? I can't wait for that to run out, so the next could be death by fly swatter or bare knuckle death match. Now, I joke, but this is a serious problem. The death penalty has constantly been a huge issue in this country. Should we or shouldn't we? Well, let me. Isn't being in prison for a penalty for such heinous crimes? And by the way, per another source, this particular instance was requested per the inmate on death row for it to be a firing squad in lieu of lethal injection. Because, and I quote, it's a less painful death. It's like choosing who you want called when you're in trouble in the principal's office. Dad gets mad. Mom's eyes turn red. Call my dad. Please. Jcole's album hit, and the woke niggas are creaming themselves. My last video covered the anticipation. This one covers the reception. It's a dope album. Cole has went out of his way and out of his comfort zone with peaks of auto-tune to his features like Cameron, 21 Savage, and Lil Baby. Facebook and Twitter has been lit up with debate and comments mentioning it being a 10 out of 10 album. And I have to say, y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about. 10 out of 10 is generous, which begs the question, what does albums such as Black Album, To Pimp a Butterfly, and a personal favorite of mine, Droga's Wave by Lupe Fiasco, where do those rank? Now, it not being a 10 out of 10 isn't a knock. I miss when Perfect and Not Perfect was still far from horrible. It's really good. I appreciate the change of approach, shooting for radio playability, but that also can take things sideways. It was well done, and Cole deserves his flowers for it. KOD and this album sits neck and neck. KOD still has plenty of playback value, which many artists cannot achieve. I give it a 8 out of 10. I'll give it a few more listens. My rating may change. Lastly, there's been talk of a Black Superman. Though it's been in talks for 3 years, this time it seemed like they might be serious. And I have to say, I fucking hate it. I love to stop harping on Hollywood, but their shooting average is an astonishing, consistent 3 out of 10. I'd go out on a limb and say I don't want a Black Superman. They have a great history of taking pre-established characters and making them black solely for putting butts in seats. But Gerald, it's canon. Yeah, I'll get back to that in a bit. Aquaman, Ariel, Wally West, Billy from the Power Rangers. I could go on, but you get the point. While inclusion is important, but just picking a character to make black or POC is lazy writing and cowardly. Instead of creating a POC or black character, or dare I say bringing new black creatives into the conversation, you would rather just take something with a pre-established fan base and just race swap. Do your homework, Hollywood. I promise you, it will pay off. For every racist you lose, you're going to bring in 5 happy viewers to see something different. Now, yes, I know it's canon. Don't insult me. But unless they could really tell the experience of a black man as Superman, I really don't care to see it. And by the way, Captain America and the Winter Soldier has already approached that angle. Thank you for joining me on the N-Word. I'll see you next week. During this recording, the Colonial Pipeline has been reactivated, meaning, congratulations America, you played yourself.